Hey everyone, how's it going? Elliot here again. In today's video, we are going to be taking a look at the Pocket Go by BitBoy. This is something that you guys have been asking me to do for a little while now, and yeah, they finally sent me one. So big thank you to Pocket Go for sending this out to me, or BitBoy rather. And yeah, let's see what it's about. It seems from the get-go to be pretty similar to the previous BitBoy that I have here. So it's going to be interesting to see if there's actually any differences besides this thing just being a sort of landscape version of the BitBoy, the current BitBoy, but time will tell. They seem to be going as well for $39 on AliExpress, $39 on RetroMini.com, but then on their main website it's $49.99, and that includes the 8GB micro SD card. If you are going to buy this, I do advise that you buy it with the SD card because that comes with software on it to get going, and obviously with a Pocket Go, you want to put it in your pocket and go. Right, so here it is then, the Pocket Go. It seems to be in the standard sort of box that we're used to seeing, but the box is really not what we're too interested in seeing. Let's put this one to the side for now and see what this is about. So the first thing we have is the sort of plastic sleeve that it comes in, and they've actually printed the design on. I'm not actually sure what the BitBoy one looked like. Let's have a look. Okay, so it's a little bit more detailed than the BitBoy bag, but the bag doesn't really matter. Let's get that out of our faces. And here it is, the tiny little BitBoy, and the Pocket Go rather, and it is tiny. I mean, it's a little bit bigger than a Game Boy Micro, that's for sure. I'll get a Game Boy Micro out in a second and show you that by comparison, but it's definitely very small. It's really nice. I like it a lot. So there's also a little foam in here just to make it a little bit higher quality and pack it down. A bit of cardboard, and then we have a bag of goodies, and I like goodies. So inside this bag is some buttons. I'm pretty certain they're just if you want to swap them over and have sort of SNES type style buttons, which I probably do. There's also the micro SD card to USB reader that are included in the other BitBoy box, which is very nice of them. And also a micro USB cable, and also they've included, now I don't know if you have watched my previous BitBoy video, I'll put that up in the card and leave that in the description, but when they sent it out to me, there was this like hand cut Microsoft Paint like Microsoft Word little instruction manual here, which was really bad, really poor. There's even the bloody text from the other manual they would have cut off. So I did actually complain about that in my video, and they've listened and they've given us an actual Pocket Go sort of branded piece of paper here. So basic functionalities: how to adjust the volume, you press select and Y, and then that's volume up, and select and B is volume down. Adjust the brightness is the same sort of combination with the X and A. And then how to play: insert the micro SD card that comes in the package, turn on the device, wait 2 to 3 seconds, select the emulator, use the L and R buttons to change the menu. It's as simple as that. So very nice. Okay, so let's have a look around the device itself then. So on the front, you've got a nice screen there. I think it probably actually say on the box what size that is. Let's have a look. 2.4 inch IPS screen, so that's pretty cool. We've got a headphone and an AV out on the top of the device, as well as our micro USB charger. There's a reset button, a slot there for our micro USB, our micro SD card, 2 clicky L&R buttons. That was one of the problems with the previous BitBoy. There was no L&R buttons. It did map them up here if you wanted to play like Game Boy Advance and SNES games or whatever, but it's nice to actually have dedicated buttons. And speaking of the buttons, this D-pad is far nicer. It's sort of like a matte finish with smoothed edges. My biggest complaint with this one is the D-pad on here. It's got sharp corners on the D-pad, and it's like this glossy sweaty almost finish, which is it's still nice, and you know, for the price of these things, it's absolutely ridiculous. It's unprecedented technology. You look at stuff like the Retro Stone and the Game Shell, all stuff that goes for well into the $100 price mark. So for these to be under $50 each is still something that blows my mind. We can take off this little protective film now as well, which is cool. On the back, there isn't a lot. It's just this sort of matte finish plastic. It feels higher quality than this one, that is for sure. And a volume button, a volume wheel, sorry, on the side, and an on and off on the other side. And I've just noticed something really, really cool. The screen is sort of like, it sort of curves at the edges, almost like a Samsung S8 or something, or the S9, you know, the ones with the curved screens on the side. That is awesome. That's definitely not something that's present on this screen. A lot of people were complaining about these ones being shipped with scratches. This is cool, and it feels like a nice, thick bit of kit. Is that glass? Is that glass? There's no way that's glass. If that is glass, that is absolutely amazing. Oh my god, really cool. Right, I've just noticed the micro SD card. Ooh. I've lost the micro SD card. It's on the floor somewhere. What the? Oh, there it is. I found it. I found it. I found it. So the micro SD card is apparently a SanDisk 8GB one. I'm not sure what was included in this. This is an unbranded 8GB one, so if it is actually SanDisk, then that's great, but obviously there's a lot of fake micro SD cards about, so it could be just a really cheap one, but it wouldn't surprise me. They've really upped their game with the quality on this. In terms of the design, I'm actually really, really fond of it. I think I like this a lot more than this thing. This gets a sort of a little bit cramped when you're playing everything on here, but this is much more like it. It's a bit bigger than the Game Boy Micro, as I said, so it's definitely more comfortable. Start and select buttons feel great. So that's enough waffle. Let's go ahead and get this thing on. Turn it on the side, and they say to wait a few seconds. NX Hope, not seen that before. Going through its sort of code stuff, and boom, we're in. Game Boy, GBA, NES, SNES, Sega Master System, Mega Drive, Atari 2600, Lynx, PC Engine, PlayStation 1, Arcade, Neo Geo, DOSBox, WonderSwan, GB Rumble, never heard of that one. GB Oh Boy and GBA Rumble. That could be different types of emulators, or is that? I'm not sure what that is. That could be different emulators, or maybe it's Game Boy with a Rumble feature. I've got no idea. The power indicator is a little sort of lightning bolt up at the corner, which is really, really cool. But that's pretty much it for the different stuff around the outside. You've got the standard built-in software, all the different sort of Doom titles, and obviously this thing runs Doom. It's not going to blow your mind, it's just the typical stuff. Let's see what Game Boy plays like, because that's one of the more familiar consoles on this channel. Let's play a little bit of Super Mario Bros. Deluxe. That is a game I actually own. Okay, so I figured out then to open the menu is the reset button up at the top, and then you have this really nice menu which has sound effects and everything. We can go down to, this is where also you'd be able to save the game, so save state, and then you just pop a save state in there, and that's it. Save 0 state saved. If you click that again and click load, obviously it's going to load that. So settings, we probably want select scalar and just have, there we go. That's back to the actual original size that we're used to, and oh my god, that screen quality is insane. Look at that screen quality. That's nuts. That is absolutely nuts. So I'm definitely going to be using this to play Game Boy more than anything else. I am going to quickly go through some of the other different things that it can play in a minute, just to show you that it is capable of doing those things. You've got to remember that this is pretty underpowered stuff. Not that emulating a Game Boy needs a lot of power, but you know, there is expectations with a $40 device. So yeah, one thing I really wanted to show you as well is just the size comparison to a Game Boy Micro. It's pretty much the perfect size. Besides that, here it is versus the Benven Freckle Shack screen, which is a recent screen mod for the Game Boy Color. And you can see the colors on there look great, but they look nowhere near as good as that BitBoy screen. So yeah, and also this BitBoy costs the same price as that Benven screen. So yeah, very, very interesting stuff to consider. If we actually have a look at the colors there as well, the colors are pretty vibrant compared to this one. So definitely interesting stuff. I've just been playing a little bit of Super Mario, and yeah, everything works very well and it looks gorgeous on this little display. I'm so excited to take this around with me and play it and abuse this thing. This is definitely going to be something I'm going to be taking on every plane and every train and everything like that I ever go on, because it's really, really goddamn good. So we know it plays Game Boy Color very well. Let's see how it handles Game Boy Advance. Let's see if I can find a game that I actually own just to avoid upsetting anyone. So here is a little bit of Super Mario Kart for the Game Boy Advance, and I'm, absolutely blown away by the screen. It is absolutely insane. Let's go one player, 50cc. We'll choose a random kart. You can see that screen there. I don't even know how they can get such a good screen for such a good price. It is amazing, and with that glass lens as well, it just makes it absolutely excellent. Right, let's see if there's any lag on this. Not so far. And there we go. The L and R buttons work as well, straight out. There's no configuration needed. Wow. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. It's difficult to play this at this angle, but it's absolutely insane. It's really, really crazy. I mean, this has got to be the best one. This is it. Right now, as it stands, this is the best thing you can get. There's no denying it. So let's try some slightly higher demanding games. Let's see what sort of arcade systems we can emulate. Right, let's see what sort of Neo Geo performance we can get out of the little BitBoy. So start. Let's see. The screen quality looks amazing. Remember, Neo Geo it's a pretty extreme thing to be emulating. This isn't the Neo Geo Pocket or anything. This is the arcade, home system. AVS. Wow. There is a little bit of screen tearing, which I guess is to be expected, especially on something like this with loads of moving bits. But yeah, damn, that is absolutely astonishing. Amazing work from BitBoy. If you'd like to pick one of these up, I'll leave all the links in the description. Definitely let me know what you think. I'm super, super excited to play this thing and give you my sort of opinion later on. If you'd like to find out what I think more about this in more detail, follow my Facebook community group in the description below, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace.